Hello there, and welcome to some Dear Esther. I was reading a little on Frictional Games' blog why did I call it blog? Their blog today. As I'm still waiting for Amnesia, a Machine for Pigs. I really hope they release that on March 1st, which is Pig Day. Because that would just be incredibly fitting. But I found out about this game made by the Chinese Room, with whom they cooperate to create the next Amnesia game. And it seemed like it could be interesting to play. It's apparently supposed to be a thought-provoking game, so I thought I'd give it a try. It was pretty cheap too, only €7. Play this chapter. So let us see how this goes.
Dear Esther, the morning after I was washed ashore, salt in my ears, sand in my mouth, and the waves always at my ankles, I felt as though everything had conspired to this one last shipwreck. I remembered nothing but water, stones in my belly and my shoes, threatening to drag me under to where only the most listless of creatures swim.
Any more? Oh, I can move. I thought it was just an intro. There's an old lighthouse. I heard something in there. I'm actually not sure if this is supposed to be horror or not, but it probably is though. Okay. Here are some molecule things, I guess. They don't seem to be able to enter through that door. Oh. He crouched for a bat or bird or whatever it was. Probably a bird. The sound didn't come from here either. Maybe it was from the bathroom with the bird thing. Or maybe from over here. I can't go here. So I will proceed up this path. There's a radio tower there. So at least it doesn't seem to be supposed to be an old game. Or an old story. I will have to go down. And I could go that way. So where do I go here? There are some crab traps. I don't know what they are specifically called in English. So I just call them traps.
At night you can see the lights sometimes from a passing tanker or trawler. From up on the cliffs they are mundane. But down here they fugue into ambiguity, For instance, I cannot readily tell if they belong above or below the waves. The distinction now seems banal. Why not everything and all at once? There's nothing better to do here than indulge in contradictions whilst waiting for the fabric of life to unravel.
What's this? It seems to be some kind of map. Maybe?
I have found the ship's manifest, crumpled and waterlogged under a stash of paint cans. It tells me that along with this present cargo, there was a large quantity of antacid yogurt bound for the European market. It must have washed out to sea. God knows there are no longer gulls or goats here to eat it.
Can I go this way? Or am I not supposed to go here? Okay, that was... Hey, there is something drawn there. Now I just need to get up. So what is this? This is some kind of device. But I believe I have to go another way. I think this game is mostly made because of the story. At least it seems that way. Oh, I know what this is. I have seen this before. It's sections or it's quarters of a circle, which are made bigger and bigger. Or each one passing on there. So that's a quarter of a small circle that becomes bigger and bigger, and it ends up spiraling outwards. I guess that's what that shape is supposed to be. Not a map. I heard some wind. And look at this view. I think I'm supposed to make my way towards that radio tower I saw to progress the story. And of course I'll just have to keep quiet while this person is talking.
Reading Donnelly by the late afternoon sunlight. He landed on the south side of the island, followed the path to the bay and climbed the mount. He did not find the caves, and he did not chart the north side. I think this is why his understanding of the island is flawed, incomplete. He stood on the mount and only wondered momentarily how to descend, but then he didn't have my reasons.
Okay. And what are your reasons? You strange man.
Someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice. They cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Okay, so maybe he saw some of those there.
There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation. It was stolen by a visiting monk in 1776, 2 years before the island was abandoned altogether. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance, that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradiction?
There's a ship wreckage here, but I don't think I've seen any of those parallel lines that are revealing the chalk.
I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Okay.
I threw my arms wide and the cliff opened out before me, making this rough home. I transferred my belongings from the bothy on the mount and tried to live here instead. It was cold at night, and the sea lapped at the entrance at high tide. To climb the peak, I must first venture even deeper into the veins of the island, where the signals are blocked altogether. Only then will I understand them, when I stand on the summit and they flow into me, uncorrupted.
Here are some cave paintings. This seems to be a bird hatching from its egg, maybe. Or I'm looking at it completely wrong, which I probably am. This is possibly a seed. A tree. I guess it is supposed to make out some significance that I didn't really see. So let us continue our journey. There is the radio tower again. I'm actually not sure if I am able to reach it or not. It seems to be rather far away.
He still maintains he wasn't drunk, but tired. I can't make the judgment or the distinction anymore. I was drunk when I landed here, and tired too. I walked up the cliff path in near darkness and camped in the bay where the trawler lies beached. It was only at dawn that I saw the bothy and decided to make my temporary lodgings there. I was expecting just the aerial and a transmitter stashed in a weatherproof box somewhere on the mount. It had an air of uneasy permanence to it. Like all the other buildings here, erosion seems to have evaded it completely.
Okay. There is something else.